Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another brand new episode of ImpactPod. We know our regular subscribers, I know you've been enjoying what we've been bringing to you back to back. Today, we're back again with a very interesting topic. But before we go ahead, we have a special guest in the house. Hopefully, she becomes a regular. We're trying to make her regular. Maybe we'll put a ring on it and name her Miss Impact Pod or something. So I have Kayla in the house. Kayla, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Kayla. Nice to meet you.
All right. Our topic today is going to be something we've talked about internally, but like we always do, we talk about it, we digest, and then we try to bring it online to our viewers to see what your views are about the topic. And it's called cancel culture. Is it accountability or has it turned into bullying as it is? Because if we look at cancel culture, somebody did something wrong, is an artist, is a popular person, and then we decide to cancel them. Are we trying to hold them accountable, or is just a form of cyberbullying? That's what we're looking at today, and that's what we'll be discussing amongst ourselves. But I'll start with you, Kayla. Cancel culture.
To be honest, I feel like it's a sort of bullying to some extent, only because I'm gonna give an example of somebody who got canceled for a good cause. Colin Kaepernick.
Okay.
I don't think he deserved to be canceled like that. And yeah, I just don't support canceling of people who are doing things for a good cause like racism. And yeah, that's my opinion on that.
Okay.
Well, for me, I think it's both accountability and bullying because at the end of the day, uh, a lot of emotions comes into play there, and not everyone can handle their emotions. So, but my problem with it is that uh, we take it too extremely too far. We take it extremely too far. We believe that if cancel culture has come in, we don't know when to
Pause or stop.
stop or let
Take
it
a break.
take a break. We don't know how to take a break from it. We just go and we don't care if we destroy the person.
My own opinion. It's very deep, and I think, like you said, it go both ways. But I think people take advantage of it to actually bully more than hold people accountable. Uh, I was having a conversation with someone a couple of weeks ago, and we started talking about music generally, and I was playing music by R. Kelly, and I was like, "Why are you listening to that?" I'm like, the song is good, is it not? He said, yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah. Kelly did what he did. I don't support that. But the music is good. And all. Is there a way to separate the product from the person? Because I think this is what I believe it is. A lot of us are hypocrites. We hold people to higher standards that we can't even hold ourselves.
Yes.
Just because they are under the microscope, just because their life is out there on social media and they can't hide anything because they're superstars, they're other than that. We put their life on the microscope so much that we don't even focus on ourselves. We focus more on people's life than we actually hold ourselves accountable. A lot of us, I'm gonna be honest with you, if you sit everybody down and you start asking about their dark side, you'll probably see that, phew, Kelly might look like a saint to some people, but because they are not out there, it's not their life. So it's a form of projection. If you ask me, we then like, oh, focus on these people. And like, okay, yeah, I'm not saying what he did it was right. It's totally wrong. But then what he produced is music, is legacy. Are we just gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater?
For me, first of all, I want us to look at what cancel culture means, the meaning. At least while we were growing up, there was nothing like the word cancel culture, right? But these days, people have so, gave it different meaning. people give it different meaning. People, widen it up. For me, it's because of what the society has turned to. Now, even before you talk, as we're in the studio now, we got to be careful of what we say. The society has become so sensitive to minor things that people don't really care about before. And for me, I keep saying it all the time. That's the effect of social media, the negative side of the social
Okay.
media. You understand? Because before there was no social media, but this time around, you made an example just now about R. Kelly. You're right. People really want to cancel that guy, but I mean, no matter how much you try, you can cancel him because, like you said, what he did was totally wrong, which everybody with the same mind, the same thinking would say, yeah, what he did was wrong. But the talent God has given him, nobody can take it away from him. No matter how much you hate him, you're gonna still listen to his music. For me, that's the way I see it.
Okay. Okay. So, like Esther just said the other time, the accountability side. How do we find the balance between holding them accountable and still being able to like say, okay, listen to their music? Or like I was making an example with I think cancel culture has become such of a norm that even within friends, even before you know you already canceled someone, like, oh, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I think the level of grace we give to each other is so very little now. And we expect so much. And I think we're giving so little back. Because this is it. You say aura for aura. You say, oh, if you know that person will send me, I go send. If you no call me, I no call you. Why you no call first? Why you dey wait for my own call to call you? Why are you waiting for me to reach out? And then you're canceling me because, oh, he doesn't have my time, he doesn't reach out. Why are you not the first to reach out? So we expect so much in the society these days. This, like I said, is a very deep topic. It goes, we can start going in depth and we won't even
you're
be able to
right.
finish it today.
Well,
So,
I will say something about cancel culture. I think for the accountability side, we are not truly being accountable.
okay.
If we look at it in terms of demography,
Okay.
we are not really accountable.
Okay.
I think we blacks, we are too harsh on ourselves.
Okay.
We are extremely, extremely too harsh on ourselves.
Because we put
Because
ourselves on a high
we
pedestal
put
and expect so
ourselves
much.
on a high pedestal, and if you notice, I'm not trying to attack anybody, but if you notice, like if it's a black individual that's done something like this, you notice that we blacks, we go on the person to the extent that the person might want to commit suicide or try to, do something nasty. But if we look at it to the other side, it's not like that. The game is not played like that
That's the reason why.
to a certain
You know the
degree.
reason why?
What's the reason?
As a black man, or from a black race, our cultures take accountability into cognizance. You understand? As
Yeah.
we're growing up,
Yeah,
feel
you
shame.
do. You do.
can't
Yeah,
just-
you are being called out for a lot of
Yeah,
things.
so
I won't say too harsh,
Yeah.
but this is it. I'm going to put it this way. As black, we expect so much of ourselves.
Yeah, right.
And we've been used in such negative image for so long that we expect that, oh, if you're going to be black and if you're going to be out there, you're going to be popular and all that, be the right example. So it's like it's a form of betrayal to people when someone of our color does something and it has to be all up in the news and it's all being negative.
Yeah,
So I think that is why it seems like we are so harsh on ourselves. Like, oh,
I understand that part.
another one bite the
Wait,
dust.
I have something to say too. And also I feel like black people love to compete with each other.
Yeah.
Compared to the other races, they collaborate, and that's one other thing too. But it's also systematic because we were conditioned to be like that.
Yeah, you just talked about where I was trying to drive at.
Yeah.
Is that if you see anything going on, like if it's of the other race, if it's of the other race, we don't go after them if it's even the same cancel culture crime. We don't do that.
Do you know one of the reasons why we might not really be able to go after them?
Why?
From my own view, because we are not responsible for them.
But that's not accountability.
Now,
in
this is
general.
what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. In a nutshell, in the perspective, someone of the other race that is very popular and all that, I would still say the level of black audience they have compared to people of their color is so much different from when you take someone like R. Kelly, like I mentioned. The audience he has is a lot of blacks, and there's other races scattered in between, but he's more black. So if you take someone like that on the other side of the aisle, the audience is not really us.
Okay, I can give you another example. There's this show that shows where, you know, or let's say the other race, whereby they go for these 13-year-old and they get them, they you know, arrest them and stuff like that. Then I sat down and I'm looking like, if it was a black person caught, it won't just be on a record basis. The individual won't just
shot.
be recorded. The individual might be, shot there, tarnished. It will be all over the paper. It will be all over the news.
Before you go on,
Yes.
let me like the reason why that among the black is that we are like a community. You understand?
But we too harsh on each other.
We are like a community. That's just it. Because in a community, anybody do something wrong, everybody comes. But the people we're talking to about,
Take example of growing up. You do something
yeah,
like back in the days in Nigeria, or from African communities generally. Back in the days, you can do something wrong, and your dad could ask your neighbor to flog you.
yeah, sure.
Like
We know ourselves.
they will tell your teacher, no.
Because if
You know,
somebody
it's
says
it's 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 a whole it's the way we've been raised.
Look at Kayla now. Unless we tell everybody, oh, we're from different countries. People see us.
They see the color and they
we are like
assume
a
we're.
community.
So that mean-
anybody do anything wrong,
That means the accountability part.
The
It's not
accountability
general,
part, I'm not gonna say it's not general. I'm going to say it is still general. It is just the level that is different.
I have a question. So if you're gonna mention us black people are like a community, what about the other races who are not of the same race but look alike? Are you gonna put them in one box? Because all of them behave differently. East Asians act different from West Asians and South Asians, and Europeans act differently to white Americans. So you cannot say us as a black are a
they
community
don't really have.
because we are different cultures.
No, they don't. Sorry about it. They don't really have too much difference. When you say Asians, once somebody hear Asian, you'll be like, oh, that's a Chinese, that's a
Japanese.
that's a Korean.
No, but those
right?
are East Asians who are so
Nobody cares
different from
about-
Indians,
I know,
though,
but-
because those are also
even-
Asians.
Even the Asians you're talking about, you got about India, you got talk about Nepalese, you talk about
Pakistan.
Sri Lanka, Pakistan. Those are like a community. If you see them, their mode of dressing, the food they eat.
But it's
the
still
same.
Asia, no?
Yeah, what about Africa?
Yeah, but you said blacks, because
No,
there's
they are not blacks.
blacks
Right
from
there.
Africa, then there's blacks from America.
Yeah, no. Even here.
Are we putting every
No, hold on.
black in the
Hold
same
on.
box?
Yes,
That's
are you
what she's
putting
trying
every
to
black?
ask.
Because you're
Yeah,
saying
hold on,
blacks, you
even
didn't
I've had
specify.
Old people here tell me that in the 60s, in the 50s, early 70s, the community raised up a child. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
you do any shit, somebody see you like, oh, I know his mom. Go give you a knock on your head.
Like everybody know, you were raised by the block.
Yeah, by the block. Thank you. You raised by the block. Then until everything changes.
Everything started changing.
That is
Even
how
back
it
home now, everything is changing.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I know a lot of dudes. I know a lot of friends in Nigeria who don't even know their next door neighbor. It didn't used to be like that.
But don't you
when
think
we're
that's
growing
more
up.
of a Western culture? Because African
Yeah,
culture
taking
is
over.
more
Yeah, I'm just
united.
saying. Yeah. It's different now. That's why I said back in the
Even the
days,
cancel culture
growing
is
up.
creeping into African society. Let me make an example. Look at what happened between these guys just recently. That DJ guy and Burna Boy. They were about to cancel
Burna
this guy,
Boy.
Burna Boy. But he was so smart to say, okay, boy, you know what? And it starts from somewhere. Before you know it, they were like, oh, all DJs, they are not going to play.
I think there's still a way to hold people accountable without actually canceling them. Is what my own focus is more on, because you're trying to cancel someone because then you are already bullying, you're already punishing. I'm not saying don't hold them accountable, but it doesn't have to be about canceling.
So I actually have a question for you guys. Haven't you guys noticed how in the Asian culture you never hear cases of them canceling each other? Think about it. It's always us or, the other culture, which is here in America, but it's always us for the most part canceling somebody. But when it comes to Asians, of all Asia, I'm not saying East, West, South, whatever, it's rare that you hear any of them are canceling each other, be it here in the West or in Asia. I don't think I've ever seen an article of fellow Asians bringing another Asian down. But you guys tell me if you've seen anything like that.
Well, I'm not too familiar with that space,
Okay.
so I wouldn't say. But all we see out here is a lot of things going on, and we've seen people even canceled just because of their opinion. Like you said, J.K. Rowling, if I can remember, was canceled just because of his opinion about transgender, and it brings me back to what Esther just said, that within us, and when they want to cancel us. When they want to cancel us, they go all out for us.
Yes.
Don't get it wrong. But when it's the other how, it's
Can I jump in? I don't want to say they go all out for us. We go all out for ourselves.
no, because the system. Let me they go after us, because I'm gonna tell you the way they will go about it.
Yes.
They will use all legal forms to
No,
make sure
I'm
that
not talking about the
you are-
legal form.
Yeah, because look, once your face is out there, once it's out there on the news, once it keeps trending
Yeah,
about what
I
you've
get- I
done,
get that.
it's hard
Yes.
to go. The way these things are transmitted. Okay, I was watching. What is this guy's name? I forgot his name. This guy with beard.
What does it do?
He talks a lot. He has like a Muslim name.
I can.
Oh, he's very popular. I forgot. And he was talking. Yeah. He was talking about Bill Cosby. And he was saying the reason Bill Cosby.
Okay, what's his name? This is black guy. Right?
Yeah, he's a black guy. Yeah, saying the reason Bill Cosby. Dr. Omar, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I watched Dr. Umar.
Yeah. He said the reason Bill Cosby got into trouble is not because of what he did. It's because they wanted to buy his house. They wanted to buy his property.
Because of
The pipeline that was supposed to go on, and they were just wanted, and they found a lot of, like he said, tell me where you think a white lady is coming up after 30, 40 years to accuse a black man.
Okay, that's not what I understand what you're saying, but that is not where I'm coming from.
Okay.
What I am saying is this: when your face is out there already, as anybody, if you check the population of people or the tribe or the culture or the skin color that attacks the individual. Wait. I'm saying it's we black. Okay.
Let me say something. I'm gonna cross some lines. I'm sorry. Maybe we would have to edit it out later or not. I don't know. But let me be honest with you.
Yes.
The fact is this:
Yes.
as blacks,
Yes.
we have morals.
Yes.
And when we see that you do a lot of things that are morally degrading, it breaks our heart. It is disgusting.
Does that mean we should send ourselves to death?
Because look, this is it. We are hard on ourselves. I've said that. We are so hard.
Harsh.
We are so hard on ourselves. But this is the honest truth.
Yes.
Because they do it and they are not being called out on it the way they should, is why it is still going the way it is going. I'm going to be very blunt. I'm very sorry. The things that goes on in the Catholic Church with the series and years of molesting that we've heard, that the records are being shown, it's still going on because the level of accountability they have. How many people of my color are in there as popes and fathers?
Can I say something?
It is minimal compared to the other
Do
color.
you think?
Let me finish. And the victims too
Yes.
are their colors.
Okay.
A lot of victims of Epstein are their colors. There are some black people sprinkled in between, but they are their color because they don't actually hold themselves to the level of accountability that they should. And this is where, as black people, we tend to go all out. Like, bro, you just follow our hand. It should not be you. It should not be us. Because we know that we are always under the microscope. We are always under the
Should there
spotlight.
be a limit?
Look, I will cite a Yoruba example. Yoruba says, Igbe kinkini, leti awo igbe giri. Tojuba kurumbe, okun le kurumbe.
Interpret in English.
It means, you know Gbegiri. You know the Gbegiri
I
stew.
don't know Gbegiri.
Fuck you, bro. That is made with beans. It's this yellow soup. Anybody has eaten amala. So that yellow soup, imagine you have it in the plate. And then someone put a yellow poop on the side of the plate. Even if they wipe the poop off, I'm sure you're not going to that soup anymore. Yeah, because you'll be thinking, they have the same color. That your mind play tricks on you. So the way they've projected, once you sin once, the way they will project it is like you've brought the whole world to a standstill. And the moment people start saying things, it start getting ingrained in their brain. Forget it.
Should there
And
be
that
a
is.
limit?
I'm not saying there shouldn't be a limit,
you
but I'm
can't
just saying the way it is projected, the way they go out for us, it is hard. It is hard to
Please,
overlook.
I don't
things.
want you to say the way they go out for us. That's what I don't want. What I want to hear is the way we go out.
They will start the propaganda.
I get you.
Look,
Okay,
bro,
if it's other skin color, that like you said in the Catholic Church,
because we don't give a fuck about them.
Wait, like we said in the Catholic Church, like you said, it has happened within them. There are people with the same skin tone are not killing their people, pushing them.
And so the generation of trauma that they are passing along by not holding people accountable, is that what is right? Why? Let them look. If they counsel the way we counsel, if any pope, sorry, I don't want to say pope, a father, a reverend, because pope is the highest. I'm sorry, but a father, a reverend does anything, derobe them, flog them in public, jail them. How many has been to jail? Let me start from there. How many has actually been to jail? How many names are actually published the ways ours is published?
The names are published.
How many?
Wait. Even though it is one, the name is there. My own bone of contention is this: accountability and bullying, they go hand in hand.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't, bro. You can hold someone accountable without bullying them.
Yeah, that is why I now asked you. You've held someone accountable, but are you going to hold the person accountable to the point of death? Because the way we hold our people accountable for certain things, we hold them to the point of no return.
You think
we hold them to the point of no return?
Let me say something real quick. I know what you're saying, but a lot of times it's not just how it seems. We hold ourselves accountable. The law has taken its course and action. Throw them in jail. It's fine.
Yes.
But then, just because we are all blacks doesn't mean everybody's going to see eye to eye.
Yes, 100.
Now, you see a few folks out there talking about, let's cancel them. Let's do this. Let's do this. And the way social media has been built, the way the algorithms work, and the way all this data farm works, they start regenerating all this. They start pushing them out there. It's the agenda. It might seem like conspiracy theory, but it's the agenda. Let me be honest with you. A lot of times it is not even as deep as they are pushing it. It is even within us. It is not even that deep. But you see it out there on the internet that it is very deep. Every black people is talking about it. Bro, it's not like that sometimes. It's
Also,
all these
I have
data
something
farms
to
churning
say.
out all these videos, churning out all these things to make us believe it is that.
Yeah. Also, there's also fake accounts.
Yeah.
We saw that some artists use fake accounts to give them views. There are data centers which you could pay to have views for your music. And it's the same thing for propaganda. They have fake accounts, AI, putting in comments, making it seem like the problem is as big as it is or as small as it isn't supposed to be or whatever, depending on who they want to see whatever they're pushing out there.
For me,
You should watch this
Like
series.
you
Sorry,
said.
this series called Homeland.
I've
You've seen Homeland?
That's my show.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of episodes about data farms and and it's the truth. That's what they do.
You said something from the beginning. You said, how can we separate the individual from the craft? Like you said, how can we separate the individual from the craft? No, hold on. If we say we want to, how can we separate the individual from the craft? Like R. Kelly is being cancelled. Should his craft still be out there? I believe his craft should be out there.
Yeah, but
He has done
but-
evil. We all agree he has done evil. He's paying for the price. That's why I said that. Where should we draw?
But they'll be
where
like-
should we draw the limit?
But they'll be like, why should this still be popular? Why should it be making?
So where
money?
should we draw the limit?
Someone posted something recently. That's why I was smiling. They said, "You can love the fruits and eat the tree." Is that true? You cannot love the fruits, but hate or despise the tree. But I believe you can sometimes.
I can love the fruit.
I love roses.
Yes.
But the plant it has thorn on it.
Yes,
I might
yes.
cannot love the
but
tree.
this is the mistake we are making. Cancel culture has been this
He knows he's been since forever.
thing forever.
Yes.
If you remember why we're back home in Africa, you do maybe in school somebody steal.
Yeah, it's,
you know-
you black label them.
Yeah, so the teacher comes, hey, everybody empty your pocket, empty your locker, and they find the food, somebody's food you stole. Trust me, you're gonna change your school.
You're gone.
But
gone.
It's part of our society.
But
just like-
he went or not, like my own is this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying cancel culture should not take its place. I'm not saying it should not take its place. But where do we draw the line?
No, now let me ask you something. Ask you something. It's a very gray line. I'm gonna ask you.
Yes.
A pastor,
Yes.
a imam,
Yes.
a man of God
Yes.
that's expected to be holy,
Yes.
caught fornicating.
Yes.
But this someone we know that preaches the truth.
Yes.
This is someone that you know that you can even go to, you pray and things happen.
Yes.
So if we are saying cancel culture should have a limit, I would say we are closing down that church. Because I'm gonna tell you,
Can I answer that?
I'm gonna tell you the only place I've found exception is when it comes to religion with us. I'm gonna say Nigeria, black people,
should
or
I- should I answer that?
generally, because there's an exception when it comes to religion.
Should I answer that? I would say either pastor, imam, or anybody. Before they got to that title, imam or pastor, they're first human.
Yeah, human. Yeah, that is
So-
exactly that's
Oh,
what
oh,
I want you to say. So before I'm an artist, before I'm
Let
this,
him give his point.
I'm sorry, I'm just my body the odds.
Your word is hot. So they were human first. So they can make mistakes. So they've made, let's assume the pastor has made that mistake. Highest you do, dethrone him or reduce his gap to maybe not take the pastorship away. But are we now going to say we're going to push that individual to the point of committing suicide?
Okay.
So that's what I'm asking. Where
Okay,
do
let
we
me-
draw
let
the
me
line?
put it
Where
this
do we
way.
draw the line?
You see, the truth of the matter is this: we have different races in this world.
Yes.
The shock absorber of every race differs.
Okay.
You understand? I don't want to mention no race. There are some race. If they are being cancelled, they commit an offense, they become more glowing even in that offense because it is what the society accepts. But the truth of the matter is this: when it comes to spirituality, that you said, this is what I always tell people: we are all humans, and anybody can make mistake. But it's just like for me, spiritually, it's just like there's a spirit telling us not to forgive.
Right.
Because I always tell people, what that guy does wrong, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And
Anybody
like Mayor said, we are just full of hypocrites in our society. Some people are worse than infidels.
Yes.
But they're the ones who's going to be carrying it on their head. Hey,
Even Jesus
did you hear
said,
what Silas just
So
did?
where do we draw the line?
even Jesus said, he who that sin
Yeah.
No,
should cast the first stone.
no sin should cast the
First stone. And it was even, they were trying to stone a prostitute.
Yeah, who did it?
So where do we draw the line? That's all I'm just,
bro, you can't draw any
You
line.
can't draw no line. Yeah.
You can't draw any line. You can just do your own part.
Even what you just said,
Yeah,
one
look,
culture,
even in
the other race
even
too,
in the
they
house,
cancel them.
even in the home,
Yeah, they
even in the home, a kid is doing something. You neglect that kid, then you have a favorite kid. Your spouse is doing something. You're ready to like let it out, let them go.
You know the
It's-
number of times our own parents tried to cancel us
Cancel.
when we were younger because
Well,
we were stubborn.
for me, I would say this. For me, I believe cancel culture is about accountability and also bullying.
well, it shouldn't be called cancel.
But
I think
but
I
for
think
me,
another the name should be changed, and how to go about it should be changed too. I'm not saying, like you said, we are all humans. Everybody has a tendency to fail.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect. There's no holier than thou. We sin different, but it doesn't mean because we sin different doesn't mean you're better than me.
yes.
In some aspects, I might be better. But the thing is this, having the grace.
That's the thin line.
Having
Where?
the grace, I'm not saying where there's no law, there's no crime, they say.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, okay, if you break the law, don't pay the price. But then when it comes to other aspect of that person's life, let's extend some grace.
So are you drawing the line at that point?
No, Soji. Like I said from the beginning,
Even some,
social media is what contributes to what cancel culture has become. Because people don't give people the second chance. There's a new breaking news. Oh, Soji just did this. Before you know it, like we said, the algorithm will just
Push it up.
Yeah. So that is why we got to be careful of what we put out or what we say. Yeah, people don't.
we might even be cancelled because of this.
No, please don't cancel us. I'm begging.
But the thing is this,
Please.
even like I was saying,
We're
there's a lot
trying
of
to learn.
there's a lot of things that even has nothing to do with crime.
Yeah.
It's just a point of view.
Point of view.
It's just, and I know I keep going deep and deep. I'm sorry to say it. When Charlie Kirk was murdered, that's a very terrible thing to happen. It shouldn't happen to anybody, no matter the color you are. But then he had his own point of view when he was alive.
Yeah.
And he was a force to reckon with. He couldn't even easily be cancelled if he wanted to. But then, after what happened to him, and even during his lifetime, I believe people of a different view or perspective than he was weren't freely allowed to express themselves. Teachers in school who said something got fired. Someone working in some workplace who said, oh, yeah, I'm not saying what they say is right. Wishing death to someone or being happy because they are dead, that's their own cup of tea. That's their own business. I'm not going to go into that. But having to now, you cancel them. Basically, because if you are laying someone off just because they made a comment about their own view, about how they feel, but then we don't cancel people when they have a view on their own sexuality. You don't cancel them when they have a view about, oh, this is how you don't even cancel someone when they said, oh, why did my parents bring me into this fucking world? I don't want to be in this world. It's their fault. But then we want to cancel them because they have a view about what happened to someone or how they want to express it. I just believe it should be a level playing ground. If someone can say whatever they want to say, then the other party as well should be able to say it how they want to
Even in
say.
Africa, cancel culture has become a part of the norm of the society there. A lot of people have been cancelled in Nigeria, in Zambia, because I'm a news addict. I see a lot of things that somebody did something wrong, and you feel like no, you just got to go to jail. It goes back to jail. It goes to jail, come back. It's part of the society. Cancel culture has been there since a long time. It's just the social media.
That pushed it.
Yeah, that push it.
Okay, but do you believe even after people has been cancelled and they try to make amends, make apologies and all that, do you think there's a comeback?
That is why where I'm saying, where do we draw the line? How do we integrate bring them back into the society?
No.
Because even the Bible says,
Okay,
come on, you have to
Who
forgive.
was Empire, right? What's his name? Smollett.
Just
Smaller.
Look at that guy. Just all these years, I don't even watch the Empire.
That's why I said when
If you want to do that, you go back to like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, exactly.
You go back to
If we
So-
debt,
what
know,
did
these,
Mel Gibson? Mel Gibson was cancelled according to news because of Epstein.
okay,
So
look at this
should
guy,
we-
Marlon
Oh, yeah.
Brando.
should we
Marlon
forgive?
Brando.
Marlon
The guy
Brando.
that do all this Western because he said something even like 50 years ago. People like, no, we are no more watching this movie.
So
He's a
wait,
racist. I mean,
should we give
say
second chance?
things,
Should we give?
We
all
should
human.
we should give 10 chances. And I'll say it, I'm gonna clarify that. If it's a crime, no. But if it's something about views and opinions,
yeah.
spoken words, come on.
I feel
No.
like we should give people as many chances as we would want to be given those chances too. Because one day it could be you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
So not even 10, because how many times have we messed up in the household and pissed our parents off and they forgive us? They don't have to, but they forgive us. They still provide shelter and they still give us love. So why should you now count how many times to
Because
forgive
These days,
somebody
parents
who
cancel their
didn't
kids.
affect your
That's-
life?
because we are laying our frustration onto others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are projecting our frustration, our anger, and everything going on into us. Once you find an outlet, that person is your scapegoat. Like, why can't you do that? Bro, you did worse last night. But nobody saw you. Nobody knew about it. You're not a celebrity.
For me,
You're not popular. So
For me, I will say this. I don't know about any other race but for the black race, I want to say we should temper justice with mercy. We don't need to send ourselves to the pit of hell before we know when to step back a little bit
I agree.
for individuals. We should know when to. Okay, the accountability part has been done. Whatever government side, everything has been done, but we should still know when to say, okay, this person has done this. How do we bring this person back? What are the process to bring this person back to the community? I believe we, the black people ourselves, I still say it, we are extremely too harsh.
I think
That's my own take.
I think you're right, and then in some ways, not really. I think there are exemptions,
Yeah.
and I'm going to cite examples. I'm sorry, and I'm not sorry to go and use our politicians back home. Do you know there was a trend sometime where like, if you've not gone to jail, you cannot be the president of Nigeria.
Yeah.
and back in the days, it's seen as a stain on your status as a person that you've been to prison, that you've been to jail.
So if you go
It's a stain on your status, like, talo fe bele wonshi. But it got to a point that almost back to back, people were presidents in Nigeria have been in one time or the other been to jail for a crime they committed. So shouldn't they have been cancelled?
I believe.
Oh, is that like a second chance kind of thing?
Yes, because at the end of the day,
And what did they do when they got there?
no, don't let see. We're not talking about what they did when they get there. We're talking about giving them. I still stand on it? These are my own 2 cents. Where do we draw the line? One, and two. We as black people,
No.
we are extremely too harsh on each
I
other.
disagree with you on that.
That is my own 2
Okay,
cents.
this is how it goes. Okay, a black man commits something against the society.
Yes.
Every race will come after him or her.
We go after the
Hold
person
on.
more.
No, I don't agree to that.
If you want us to go
No,
after
I
the
don't
show,
agree.
I will show you
can mention-
statistics.
I can give you 20 names of people from the other side that they've done something, against the society and they were cancelled. It's a general thing.
I'm not saying cancel.
But what I'm trying to tell you is that
Kevin Spacey.
I'm talking about
at the end of the day, what
I'm
happened
talking
to
about
the
the
guy
demo.
was
I'm talking about the demography
The guy was
that
like-
cancelled
the-
those
the guy-
people.
I-
What
the guy
is the
was
demography I'm talking about? The set of people that cancelled.
How
those
do you
people.
how did you know the volume of people? That's what I'm saying. You rely so much on this data on the
It's
internet
data now. So
that
what do
could
we-
be fake.
wait,
I
how
just
will it be
spoke about
fake?
data farms. I thought, look, because you are seeing
Like
it
you
out
just said
there.
now, data farms. It's still the data we rely on.
I
giving
know, but
opinion.
it's
that is
not-
how they are
it's
misleading
not
us.
verified data,
That is how
but
they
it's-
keep misleading us.
black people.
That's what they
Control
they
the
make us believe. They control the narrative, and you are believing what is
Get
not
me
really
right.
happening.
Get me right.
You're in the
Bro,
matrix.
they will light a match. They will light a match, and that
not-
fire will be
I'm not
so
saying, see,
proclaimed
they
that
light
it's a
match.
volcano happening.
They light a match. There's data farm. But are we ourselves coming out to speak out?
Where are
we
you
are
speaking
not
out?
doing it. So,
Bro.
if they tell you, sorry to use this, if they tell you that you stole and you see the data farm going around, you see it spreading.
Yeah.
But is somebody or you coming now to speak out? The moment you come out, we start speaking out. Those data farms, we start going there a little
It's
bit.
a
But what
lie.
I am saying,
Bro, let me tell you, the power of AI, the number
It's still
of
the same
let me
communication with the AI we
finish. Let me finish. The power of AI,
Yes.
the number of comments
yes,
and things they will put out there
Yes.
in a matter of seconds.
yes.
Bro, if me and you, if we gather this whole community, you cannot beat it because this thing is generated by seconds. We are still out here talking about, and the thing is this. Now, let me tell you one thing. Again, with all this algorithm, do you know the moment you start talking about cars and you start looking about cars, all you start seeing is cars. The moment you see something wrong with someone, they say this is something wrong. That is the suggested videos. This thing will start giving out to
hear
you.
what you just said
Before you can turn it around, brother. Before you can turn it around.
You hear what you just said now. You said when you talk about cars, the algorithm picks it out. It's the same way where 5, 10, 6, 15, wait, please, 20, 30, 40 people also start speaking that, come on, we're seeing this trend going on, that people think we are harsh on each other. Come on, we need to...
By the time you have that 40, you have 40 million negatives.
Right.
See, if
You have
40
bro, you are in
million
IT. You already should understand
No,
this thing.
see,
you can't beat it.
AI will
You
be
cannot
AI.
beat it.
Algorithms will be algorithms.
You cannot
But what
beat
I'm
it.
saying is this: where we start standing to correct some things.
Okay.
You made mention of someone like Dr. Umar, as big as he is, and he sees that there's this thing going around that we are the one pushing our people more to death.
Yeah.
For someone like that saying that, the algorithm that will pick it from him, that will spread it out, is high.
No?
No.
It's not. He's silenced.
actually-
So
They
they
are silenced. Bro,
Mayo, why are you
they,
shouting? Hey, you're red line.
bro,
See.
they are silenced. This is what you don't get.
For this break, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you guys can pick up the phone, look through when you're talking.
Yeah, I was looking. That's why I brought the.
No.
Look
Did
into
you pause
your-
it?
No, look into your look into your WhatsApp
Yes.
group. So when I get, you
He's
guys
been posting
click on
some
it
things
and
there.
put something
Oh.
so that you can
He has been posting
pick
some
up
suggestions.
Suggestions. So
Okay.
anyone that applies to you, you use it.
No problem. So
So, bro,
I'm not saying they're not silenced.
please.
But are we trying? We are not.
We are trying. Okay,
How?
you said, Doctor. Let me tell you.
How are
Let me
we
tell you.
trying?
There's a lot of black voices out there. There's a lot of black activists. There's a lot of people talking every day. People are doing things. But let me see. Let me tell you, the power and the way this thing has been configured, you will see 100 irrelevant things before it suggests that thing to you. Even when you search for it, before you find the relevant one, it is hard because it is normal. The computer says 1 million negative things
We
and
know.
he sees 100 positive things. Believe me, before the computer tries to give you the 100 positive, it's a ratio of 1 million to 1 sometimes. So before you can find that one out of 1 million, my brother, you go struggle.
We keep doing it.
I'm not saying we'll not keep doing it.
That's
But I'm
my
not saying it's a
own.
futile
We don't
effort.
stop.
But I'm saying, bro,
Like you say,
we'll keep
where-
fighting the
where-
battle.
Where should we draw the red line?
But
For me, I don't see no red line. This thing is not peculiar to any race. Dr. Umar's word is not the only grail. It's not everything that he said that I agree with. You understand me?
Yeah.
He says something that I'm like, what is this guy talking about? But the truth of the matter is this. Cancel culture just try to tell us that when you get to a certain place in the society, you got to be cautious of what you do and what you say. Look at this lady. What's her name? This Eritrean lady girl, Tiffany Haddish.
Adish.
What did the girl do? She talked about somebody. Never not know that somebody was recording her. Look at Lizzo. She'll talk about a friend of hers.
Lizzo.
Yeah. They really canceled that.
Cancel
girl too.
that, yeah.
You understand me? It took the grace of God. But like you said, it's always hard for them to come back the way they were before the incident. Are we going to blame anybody for that? It's just like the society is so sensitive
Yeah.
to negativity these days. Like, oh, he said that. Oh,
I'm not
I'm
dealing
not
with
doing
his
that
ass anymore.
I'm not doing that anymore. So even back home in Africa, it's the same thing. Look at our politician. Look at our SRs. They nearly canceled the sitting president that time. They were burning everything that belongs to them.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We keep going back to Africa and we keep talking about Nigeria.
No,
There's another African country seated here.
I know much about this.
Because let's don't let
No,
us.
the thing is this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
you
we can
understand?
only use
What I know.
what we're familiar with as an
Yeah.
example, and that is the honest truth. A lot of times now we've been talking about the other culture, the other color, the
gotta
other
talk about
is
it.
because, to be honest with you, we're not them. You
Yeah.
don't know the internal battles they're struggling with.
Exactly.
We can only talk from the perspective of what we see.
Yeah.
We might be saying this and they will tell you and they bring out their own facts and data too and they'll be like, bro, no, actually the way we cancel our own people is this is what we do, this is what we look at. Is it reputation?
No, sorry to
Is-
cut you short. We blacks, we run extended kind of family system. You know your cousin, you know your cousin, you know your niece, you know your extended cousin. So if anything happens in the family, most of the time, the whole family hears about
That's
it.
it.
Your mom get them like, come here, Kayla. Do you see what Soji did? Who is Soji? My sister's son. Don't tell you, I'll tell you, before you know it, that's the way we do our own thing. But here, some part of this society doesn't have that. So it's so secluded in a particular area. But black, we always, black, like I tell you, it's the same thing. You go to Jamaica, we share the same
So
system with them. You go to Bermuda, anywhere. It's just our system.
so
Wait, I have a question.
Okay.
Would you say the system of the blacks who have ethnic culture, right? And the blacks who don't have any ethnic culture. When I say ethnic culture, I mean like
We know
the
what
blacks.
you're saying.
Okay, right. No, some people might not know.
Okay.
So like ethnic culture could be like Jamaicans from Jamaica. They have their own culture there. Belizeans have their own culture there. Like
sure.
yeah, black people who have an ethnic culture compared to black people who don't, who are native blacks from the West. Would you say our cultures are the same? Because that's what it sounds like you said just now.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, they do.
This is, if you ask them, they'll tell you they do.
The same? Don't they call us out and say we're not the same right now?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So how do we have the
some
same
of
culture
them,
if they don't want us here?
If you ask some of them, they'll be like, "Oh, we have our own culture. We have." But
don't want
deep
us
inside
here.
we talk about this. We've
had this topic. We have this
before, and
conversation
we saw-
before.
We knew
Oh, not
how-
with me.
we know how people troll us. Some people will troll us like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is this: if you ask them, they will tell you they have culture. But you, where you're coming from, you know, you can't really disagree. You just be like, okay, F it. I believe what you say. But our family setup is so different. We are like a community, like I keep saying it.
And they used to be a whole community. The
Yeah.
black people even here used to be a whole
Yeah, they
community.
will- Yeah.
It's just that things are changing.
It's changed.
Times are changing. Views are changing.
Systematic oppression.
yeah,
changes.
changes.
So my take is still this. I would like answer for it. When when anyone is cancelled, anyone is cancelled either for anything, as long as the cancel tag has been on the individual, should they be allowed back?
Yes, for sure.
Why not?
For sure. They should
But
be
how
allowed back.
many have
If
been
they've
allowed
paid.
back?
Not everybody.
Not-
The
not everybody. It
fortunate
depends
who
on-
are persistent were let in.
Like
Then
now that you know, like from now, how many that you know that have been cancelled and have integrated back into the society smoothly?
Lizzo is on the come up, but people are buying her her stuff. She made a. New
I'll say Chris
rebranded.
Brown.
Lizzo
Yeah, Chris Brown
rebranded.
was out for a while. Is back.
Kim Kardashian was
Kim-
blackballed at some point, but she made a comeback.
Yeah.
Kanye West sold out show within minutes.
But he wasn't allowed to do. He wasn't allowed to London
It wasn't
recently.
safe. Thank you for that.
He wasn't allowed recently to go
Went
to a show in the
Europe. They
UK.
cancel all his.
Yeah, but that's
Okay.
in the UK. But he's still billions of dollars.
Even in France, they cancel.
They canceled the show.
What do you
So yeah, some people may come back. We've seen people
But
who've
most of
gone.
the time, they don't come back 100%.
100%.
Even Chris Brown that you mentioned.
Chris Van is not yet back 100% though.
Well, he still has his fan base.
No,
he still.
even R. Kelly still has his fan base.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I
R. Kelly
know.
still has his fan base, but that doesn't mean he's back fully.
No,
You
but
no, you
R.
can never
Kelly's still
look.
in
The
jail.
thing is this.
No. That's not what I understand. That
The thing is
But
this.
what I'm saying-
Even without them being cancelled,
yes,
careers fizzle out.
Yeah.
You're not gonna stay
But
100%.
Kanye West's career will not fizzle out.
But
He
you can't
left
stay a
Kanye-
whole 100% all the time. It's always gonna be.
that's a different thing. We
Yeah,
know
so-
careers will go
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
but it's different from when you are, let's say, at your peak or at the middle of your peak
Yeah.
being cancelled. It's different from when your career is.
How do you know it was their peak?
We saw what they are doing now.
Are you there with them?
We saw what they are doing. We
Do
saw
you know
their
if there's
output.
anything to
Which ones?
follow?
Like, give
Okay.
an example, because Kanye West is like an A-list celebrity.
That is an A-list.
Yeah, and he's
A-list
still an
cele-
A-list.
And thank
Yeah,
you.
he's still an A-list.
So that's why I'm saying that. Well, for me, I just believe that cancel culture is all
J.K.
a-
Rowling is still doing her job despite losing some.
Will Smith is still getting roles even after I slapped the shit out of
For me, I believe
Yeah, she's still.
social
someone on
media
stage.
is the one that is, putting fuel, putting gas.
Yeah, it's just all this.
That's it.
The way it does, it falls everything up. I know this is out of topic. We'll be rounding up. Just like you see rivalry between all these artists, it's mostly their fans. It's mostly just people churning up because people love to see it grow.
Yes.
Yes.
They rather push hate
They rather
Than
than
push
love.
love.
Because when
Than
there's
love,
love,
yes.
then
When someone does
small
something
ways to
positive,
take advantage.
before you see that news, you've seen 10 negatives the person has done. Bad news travels fast. So that is just it. So that's why I'm saying they are not actually, I won't say they are really as much as, because the way you still say maybe Chris Brown's career is not, I've been to 2 Chris Brown concerts. Bro, the crowd, no,
the crowds.
the crowds are still there, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't go to a large venue. One was in Detroit, and I think the other one is in Atlanta. But still, it was sold out. There was no space.
I
So,
think the crime they commit also play a role in the way they cancel them also.
Yeah, if it's
The
like
crime
if it's
they
like a
commit also
crime,
play
like a
huge
deep
role.
crime, yeah. But if it's
plays
just
a
like
deep
matters
role.
of opinion and things that were said,
No, but Chris Brown has been to jail a few times for fighting people.
fighting people, yeah. But it's like, but at least
I
it's
think
not.
last year, I think.
The fear of cancel culture molded him to start sticking straight. That's the truth.
He beat up Rihanna, and then he beat up
When was the
another
last time
person.
he beat?
He stalked Karuchi.
Yeah, when was the last time he did that? Age.
He's been
Age
not.
has to do with all those things. It wasn't matured enough.
I can literally Google the last time.
All right, thank you everyone
to
for
jail.
watching. I know we've said a lot of controversial thing. It's just a matter of opinion. Nobody's right
Don't
and
cancel
nobody's
us.
wrong. We just it's just an expression to see how these things could be evened out, how these things could be balanced out. Like we said, we're all humans. We err, we commit, we make mistakes, and does that mean our whole community or our family should do away with us just because of what has happened? If not, we're just asking for grace. You're asking, let's extend grace, let's extend love, let's preach love. When people do things right, let's carry that more than we carry their mistakes. And
Not when we're dead. Then you're gonna say nice things about us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like,
And follow
and follow.
on Instagram.
Thank you. God bless.
Bless.
Thank